you had a really successful year in Virginia this year.
I did.
So this was like, we hit on it a little bit earlier, but this was cool, man. I think it was, like I said, I think it was JR or somebody that told me about it, showed me the video. I think I saw it after the fact. Your wife had put it up on social media or something too. But you were in Virginia and you shot a nice buck on the ground.
It was,
and so you have to paint this picture because it was raining.
Yep.
It was, I mean, the video was awesome and you were at full draw, what looked like ever. I
would say it was maybe a minute,
dude,
2 minutes, but it felt really long.
I mean, yeah. So let's start from the beginning. How did you get on this deer?
So my best friend lives up in Virginia, and just kind of the backstory is how we captured the video as well. Previously, we always meet up in September, October, hunt Virginia on his farm. And this year he kind of started this business, this company, Execute. So he's like, hey, let's try to get some video footage. And we just had our cell phones. We don't have fancy cameras, brand new to the game as far as videoing. So we did that. We're both saddle hunters. We're set up. It started raining. The wind picked up really strong. And we're sitting there, maybe a couple hours pass, and we see what appears to be a pretty mature whitetail walking through the pasture. So I'm looking at him, and we kind of come up with a game plan. Like, hey, man, the wind's in our favor. It's raining. It's going to mask our movement, our sound. Let's try to be aggressive and make a move on this deer. We do it all the time with turkey hunting. We're super aggressive. Why not try it with whitetail? The worst thing that happens is we blow the hunt. But he's not coming to us. So we climb down, kind of strategize as far as, you go this way, I'll go this way. And we started moving on this deer. And at one point I had lost visual on him. He had pushed up, came into some defilade, and he just bedded down right there. So Mike, he was maybe 100, 150 yards behind me to the right. And he still had eyes on him. So we just, picked up our phones and we started communicating back and forth. So he tells me, hey, this is where the deer's at. I try to slowly maneuver in on him, and I spot the horns, and the whole time Mike can see the entire thing. So he's videoing it and just slowly stalking up on this deer. And I was surprised how close I was able to get to this deer. But in order to get a shot on that deer, and he was bedded, a lot of people are like, oh, how do you shoot a bedded deer? I look at it as, well, try stalking on any animal, especially a whitetail, in his backyard. Like, it's a challenge. Like, it's the ultimate challenge in my opinion. So I was stalking. It was maybe 35, 40 yards is when I pulled my bow back and just slowly started maneuvering in on him, and got within, I'd say, about 10 to 8 yards. It was pretty close, and I was able to get a shot off. It was a great shot. He ran maybe 35 yards, and then that was it. He expired right there. So
the video is incredible on it because it's off of a distance. Your buddy's recording. I mean, it's raining. You can see the wind blowing. I mean, and then you're at full draw and you're creeping up on this thing. And he's bedded down on a fence line, isn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. From what I remember, he was bedded down on a fence line.
A cattle fence. A lot of people are like, oh, it's a farm.
No,
it was a cattle fence.
Yeah, it was a cattle fence.
Yeah.
Yes. Just so everyone's clear. It was a cattle fence. Yes. But he's bedded down on that fence row, and then it's you coming up from behind him.
Yeah.
And at full draw and creeping up on this thing, and you get so close, man, and then get your shot off, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
But the thing I love about that though is, I think we're all guilty of it. You look at the weather, you're like, oh, it's going to rain.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out. I'm going to skip this day. Right.
Yep.
But the fact that you took and created an opportunity out of something that might not have been ideal, and kind of almost created your own luck, right?
Yeah.
You went through, you got on something and you were able to push the pace and create that opportunity. I love that, man, because that's, in my opinion, that's real hunting.
100%.
Out, not just sitting and waiting and hoping to get lucky that something's going to walk under you. You guys spotted something, you made the move, and then you executed and it came out successful.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
It was actually maybe 3 days later, we almost replicated that hunt. So again, we're up in this tree. We're in the corner of a bean field. We had watched this nice deer come out, a few nights prior, and we're hoping that he's going to come out there. The same thing. It was raining, and I took a nap. I was like, I need a nap. Like, we're going hard for like 5-6 days at this point. I wake up and Mike's like, hey, nice buck out there. I was like, no, it's not that nice. So I throw my binos. I'm like, that's a good deer. It was about a 140-inch deer. So I look at Mike and I'm like, dude, this deer's not moving. We got to do something. Let's try it. Let's just be aggressive again. What's the worst that happens? We blow the deer. Okay. So climb down, we, run around. It was about a 3/4 mile run. There was a bean field, then a finger, and then the edge of the bean field where he was at. Got within maybe 15 yards of this deer. I didn't know where he was exactly, but again, Mike and I were talking, and he's like, hey, dude, like, I'm pretty sure you're like on top of him. I was like, no, I don't think I am, man. But then the wind died, the rain died, so it was really hard to do anything. I was almost scared to move because using those elements to your advantage is huge when you try to be aggressive when it comes to any type of stalk. So we ended up blowing that hunt. But again, if you're not going to be aggressive, and if, like you said, you're just going to sit there, you may not get a chance.
Right. Make the most out of the opportunity you
100%.
have. Yeah. I love that, man. And I always, when I think hunting, I never think, and this is me personally, the guy, just going and sitting in a blind and just waiting, or going sitting and waiting. It's going out and actively hunting. I always love the thought of it. I have some other buddies that have some really great stories like that where, a deer comes out, he's way off, and then you take and you strategize, you come up with these, a game plan, and you move on him versus waiting for him to come to you. I mean, that's the ultimate bow hunting 100%. Experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't get any better than that, man. No. So, and that was in Virginia.
That was Virginia. Yep.
Yeah, dude, it was the video is awesome. So you'll have to go to your wife's, because you're not on social, but
I'm not.
Your wife is, and we'll drop I can't remember what was her TikTok.
It's Elizabeth B Outdoors.
Elizabeth B Outdoors. You'll have to go check it out. The video's up there. It's already got, like you said, like 2 million views.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Yeah, it's an awesome video. I mean, in the fact too, which is cool, is you shoot an 87-pound bow.
Yeah,
you're at full draw for like a minute, creeping up on this thing. Yeah. I mean, the whole scenario, I mean, it's windy, it's rain. It's just an awesome video. I encourage you guys to go check it out. It's definitely cool.
I think the best part of the video is at the release, you can see the water from the rain, like coming off the bow and the arrow. Like, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. I mean, a good clean shot too. Yeah. I mean, that's like one of those stories that you can tell over and over again.
Oh yeah.